Welcome back. In this video we're going to have a very quick and simple look at standard in. This is really important to understand before understanding get car and scanf. And if you understand this well, it will make it a lot easier. So basically with our programs we're going to start collecting information from the user. And the way that the user is going to give us this information is via the keyboard. So what's going to happen is the users are going to enter something on the keyboard and then press enter. So this could be a number, it could be a character, it could be a string, it could be a range of different types of data. Now, what happens when the user press enter is that information will go to a place called standard in. And this is a bit of memory, okay? And basically it will take what was read and put it here. And it will put it here as ASCII characters. So that's something you need to realize. So if I enter 19, for example, it's going to put a 1 and a 9 on to standard in as their ASCII value. So let's take an example. So let's say I wrote 19 on my keyboard and then pressed enter, okay? Then what I'm going to get on standard in is the character 1, okay, the character 9, and the other thing that you have to be really careful about is that I also get the new line character, okay? Now these are all 8-bit values, alright, and we can remember that from back early on when we looked at the ASCII table. Now from here we have some information on standard in, and as long as we don't read it, we could keep writing values to standard in. Okay, so I could enter 24 and then enter. Okay, and I still get that new line character, and that's going to be good and bad. Okay, this is going to cause the majority of your problems. So the next thing is that we've got this on standard in, but we have to be able to get this into our program. And we'll have a look at that in the next video, and that's using getCar or scanf. There are other functions, but they're the ones we're going to be focusing on. So without delving deep into those, we're just going to read it and not worry about the details. So if I wanted this first character, I go ahead and read it, okay? And I bring it into my program and I might store it in a variable or something like that. And what happens is when I read it, it will actually be removed from standard in, okay? So it's actually removed such that the next thing that's at the front of this buffer or standard in is the 9. So if I go and read the next character, I will get a 9 next time. Okay? So I'll get a 9. And then that would be taken off this buffer. Okay? So we can't go back to standard in and go and have a look at what we've already read with the way we're going to be using it. So keep that in mind. You need to store these values if you want to use these later, because you can't go back and grab them. Once again, if I go and read the next character, I'm going to get the new line and so on. Now, if standard in is completely empty, that's not the eraser. If standard in is completely empty and I go to read it, the program will wait until there's some information in here. Okay, so if I ask you, what is your name, the program will sit there and wait until that information's there so that it can be read. Okay, so if it is empty, it will wait. But if there's information there or previous information there, then it will automatically go and read that. So you have to be careful when doing this, especially with the basic techniques that we're using. We're going to assume most of the time that the user is going to enter valid information, so we don't have to deal with anything complex. Alright, so that's an introduction to standard in. Hopefully that made sense. This will help a lot with the next two videos.